When I go, I drop. When I trip, I pop. When I go, I drop, pop. When I go, I drop.
Hello and welcome to the recap show. This is Project Runway Season 21, Episode 8. And we've got a very special guest today. His name is Rashid Darden. He's an award-winning, best-selling novelist and urban LGBT experience, a seasoned leader of Black fraternal movements, and he's written a book called Birth of a Dark Nation. Welcome, Rashid, to the show.
Hey y'all, thanks so much for having
Hi.
me. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Glad to have you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah.
Sure. Hey audience, hey fans of all things pop culture and life and all of that. So I have been a novelist for the past 20 years. I'm self-published in the tradition of Elin Harris and so many more before him. I write pretty exclusively about Black queer life in some form or fashion. My most recent novel is called A Peculiar Legacy, and it takes place in a community in Northeast DC that's dealing with gun violence. I do a lot of different things. I'm working on a poetry project right now. And I am your typical person that has struggled to balance my creative life with a 9 to 5 that pays the bills.
Sure.
And
I hear
I
that.
might just have to be poor, y'all, because this 9 to 5 thing. I like the check, but I love people, but I don't know if I like them. So,
Yes.
No, that's right.
we'll see where 2026 takes me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for joining us. And, we love having people on. And actually, you're the second guest that we've had on in 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you come very highly recommended, by the way.
Yes.
I understand that our friend Big O has been a guest here several times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And,
you
yeah,
I do have a competition with him. So I hope if he's been on twice, I'd like to be on 3 times. So,
All right.
It
Booked.
was on
You
the
are
deal.
Make
booked.
that happen.
Booked.
Yes,
Booked.
for
Booked.
sure.
All right. So let's get into it. This episode was titled Threads of Confidence. And the contestants basically they were working with regular people. They had regular models. Well, actually, they weren't models. They were just regular people off the street with special skin conditions. They all had eczema, so they had to design for those people and their skin condition. So this was a specific challenge that they had to tackle. Of course, it was a 1 day challenge. I don't know. I don't know if I really like this format of the 1 day challenge. I would love to see them have multiple days to work on a garment to get not to say that the pieces haven't been exceptional because they really have, and
Yeah.
to do what they've been doing in 1 day is exceptional. But give them a little bit more time.
Listen, at this point in the competition, I don't think we're getting more. Than
Yeah,
a
you
one-day
can hang
challenge.
that up.
Yeah.
You can hang that up. But like I said, I think last week and probably the week prior, I do not understand what the rush is because every single challenge has been a 1 day challenge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why are we rushing so much? Like, are we ever gonna have a multiple day challenge? Like, this is crazy. But apparently, like, we're more than half. We're nearly at the finish line at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we are not gonna see the 2 day challenge. It would be crazy to put in the two day challenge at this point. So
Yeah.
Well, the rush is hazing, and hazing is ratings. Like anytime there's stress, anytime there's pressure, and I mean, for the little bit that I saw of, and for your listeners, I'm not a regular Project Runway person, and this was actually my first episode, but I know good reality TV when I see it, and I just was looking at that group and how they were working, and they kind of need the stress because, with the exception of 1 or 2, they kind of got along really well.
Yeah.
So, quick question: like, is this your first Project Runway ever? Have you ever seen the show?
I am a complete virgin
Wow.
to Project Runway.
Project
So
Runway.
you got your cherry popped on this episode.
It busted wide open, and honestly, it was easy going, and I think that because of the familiarity I have with Law Roach, and I don't know, I just kind of inexplicably have a lot of respect for Law Roach and his Simon Cowell-esque approach to the arts in general. Like, he's not trying to be seen; he's got his career. People would be well served to sit and listen and learn, at his feet.
Yeah. You had made mention of something before we go further. You know, I believe like Project Runway right now is doing this tried and true um, version of what reality TV is. Like, there's a certain formula in order to draw people in, and I think that's probably where the one day challenge comes from. But I know that we've talked in the past on other episodes where it just feels different, and I made mention that it's catering to a different audience of people, a younger crowd, and what they are expecting from reality TV. And I think they're just fitting into the mold right now. They're not doing what they did before, and I think this harkens back to what I said about this is probably why they didn't bring back Tim Gunn and they have
Most likely.
Christian Siriano in there
Mhm.
because it's fresher, it's newer, and it's just what what the kids are watching right now.
And to your point too, I think we've made mention of it before. We're living in a time where like this generation now is basically a microwavable generation. They want everything fast and ready.
Yeah.
So it does make sense, I guess, but it has been a little frustrating to watch an entire season of one day challenges because I feel like it's not giving the designers the space to truly do all that they can do.
Yeah, it's very upsetting to me and my homegirls.
What the hell did you get?
But yeah,
The references here.
I feel like for us millennials, it's not the Project Runway that we're used to, and I don't know, maybe we just have to get over that. But I'm going down kicking and screaming and biting and scratching
Not
and such.
biting.
Listen.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with going on.
Well, I mean,
okay.
it makes sense. Like, you know, those of us who are of a certain age to remember not only the first, second, and third seasons of The Real World, but even like
Yes.
clips of the predecessor shows that, you know, they were documentaries back then. And now it's a totally different genre that is not
It's highly produced.
highly produced, not documentarian at all. It's very prompted. And even I'm a huge Big Brother fan, and a lot of people have been revolting actually over the expulsion of Rachel Riley from the game. Now I hate Rachel Riley, so
let's pause. Can we?
They about to have a moment.
Can we pause for a station identification? Listen, she's in the house way too long. You have someone coming in who has previously won. She's been here before. Why are y'all? I was so pissed. I actually stopped watching when they eliminated Mickey. So
yeah, me too. I only came back because the bloggers were like, I can't believe they got rid of Rachel. I was like, oh, lean in and tell me more.
To begin with, as soon as she got there, she should have went home.
Listen, and so, you know, so I watch Big Brother with a group of friends of mine, mostly from high school, and every year we start the season trying to figure out which one is going to be our husband. So I'm very proud that I claimed Keanu first before all my friends. Now Keanu is kind of dumb as a can of paint, but that's how I like him. So but the real thing, what my friend group came up with was indeed, it's not the returning champions that are the problem. It's that when you only bring one, it's stupid. Yeah. Bring like we need a cycle of every 5 years. Give us an all-star season.
Yeah,
that's it. But in particular, Rachel Riley is just a very who she portrays on television is quite vile. And she really should be ashamed of how she carries on as a bully on these shows. Like, we're past that. Like, back in her day, okay, whatever, that's the game. But in 2025, post Cookout, we're good.
It's not working.
Okay.
It's not good TV.
They have no reference. So
none at all.
Hold on. This is kind of like a separate recap show, maybe.
We need to have a separate conversation.
But no, this is good. I love it.
But I have no idea what's going on. I have never watched Big Brother.
I see vicariously through him when he's watching, sometimes when he's home watching.
Yeah. The line that pissed me off, sorry, not. Get it out. But the line that pissed me off that she kept using this season was, "If you want to go there with me, we can go there. Like, you don't want to make an enemy out of me, girl. Who are you?" But anyways,
And Brendan, her damn husband, is dumb. But to bring it back to Project Runway,
Project
do
Runway.
y'all? It seems like I've seen things on social media where the people are saying that Law is too mean and he doesn't fit on the show.
We
Is
are the
he a villain?
people.
What's
We
that?
are
So,
the people.
Okay.
so here's the thing. I've said this before. I think that when the producers of this show approached Law to do this, they knew who they were getting. Everyone knows who Law is. He is tried and true. You know, you can just follow him on social. You can follow him on the red carpets. You know who this man is, and you know what you're going to get. I don't think that he's overly. He's no worse than Simon Cowell when Simon Cowell was on the original American Idol. You know, everyone. It was the judge you love to hate. But I think that he has a particular style and a way of telling people what it is he likes or does not like, and it's not to to demean the person. He said this to. I'm saying this because I want you to learn, and also he's gone through this. Let me tell you something. The fashion industry is very cutthroat, and we all know this. He's giving you a little taste of what it is you're going to get out there. No one's going to pussyfoot around it and say, "Oh, well, I don't really like this," but like, no, cut, goodbye. You know, I like the other person better. Like, it's very cutthroat. There's so many designers out there. They don't have time to sit there and handhold you and walk you through processes. Either you show up, you do the work, and your shit is good, and you move on, or I don't want to deal with you.
I can understand a part of Law's perspective. I can understand him being direct, and I can understand him having the experience to critique the show, right? Or critique the contestants. However, it gets to a point where it's always the thing of it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yes.
He's just very rude. Especially when it comes to like, so you've missed the episode. One of the contestants, Bologania, she wasn't talking back to Law. However, she was taking her critique in, and yes, she had, as any human would, because they're already disappointed in themselves, but to then be berated by the judge, of course you're going to have certain movements, you're going to have body language, but she still respected him enough not to speak. But he called her out for even just having body language. I am a human being. I'm not a robot. I am allowed to take in what you're saying and feel however it is I want to feel about what you're saying. You should respect the fact that I'm not going back and forth with you. And he was just basically calling her rude for even having the slightest bit of emotion being shown. So with that, yes, he is the villain to a degree. He doesn't. You can give critiques, but you can also do it respectfully, which he does not do.
And that is also my point. So to go back to what you said, like the fashion industry being cutthroat, I've heard that so many times. Now, I do not work in the fashion industry yet, but my thing is, if that is the case, you don't have to perpetuate it. Like, you are actively making a choice to continue the vileness, the toxicity of the fashion industry. Like, if that's what if that like I said, you're making a choice to be rude. It is how you say it for sure versus what you say. Like, you could be kind. It's really easy to be kind and give, constructive feedback. This is a choice that you are making in order to be rude. This is apparently, I don't know if it's who he is as a person, but if it isn't, I don't know why you would be acting this way, which leads me to believe that this is truly who you are. And so I'm just like, you really don't have to be that way. If you are truly a lover of art and creativity and people who can create design and fashion and who work in this field in that you love so much, why not want to lovingly cultivate those people and say what the point that you're trying to get across in a way that is going to be received? Most people, I would think, if you're talking to them in a rude way or giving them feedback in a very rude way, it's not going to land the way that you want it to land.
You know what though? I get all the things that both of you guys are saying, but then also too, you have to remember there's this other element that comes into play. this is TV, and they're trying to get ratings. And then also, it's not only him because who was the other judge the other day that was kind of rude to one of the contestants? What was her name? The other whatever. But there are other judges that have been like mean also. So,
Are you talking about Nina?
yeah.
Oh, Nina Garcia.
Yeah,
And she ain't been on the show since.
She comes and goes this season.
But like it's made for TV. You always have to have that balance of, all right, well, we need to have a villain. We need to have someone who is that plays the other person. So I think if it was just all like cookies and cream, it would be boring TV.
Well, I think in addition to that, I mean, I think that maybe I'm just made differently from a lot of folks that go on reality TV. I came of age in a time where you had to prove yourself, and compliments were not easy to come by for anything, whether it was grades or I'm somebody that went to Georgetown University but had an F on my report card in English because my English teacher was like, you didn't finish your work. So like people, they weren't having the conversations, and that I ended up like pledging a fraternity and trying to make folks happy. And it really, to me, Law's approach is summarized best by his appearance on Legendary when Keke Palmer read him, and she said, the storyline has gone stale. And she does her Keke thing, but because it's Keke, we're like, okay, well, this is loving. And he sat there, he took it, and at the end he just said, you ate that. And I love it because it showed that moment for me of, he's not a monster. Yeah. He's looking for people that can keep up, because those are the people he's not really looking to. Like, I used to be a teacher, and the principal said, we got to not just lift the people on the bottom, but lift the people at the top. He's not really going to be the special ed teacher. He's going to be the gifted and talented teacher to really push the people that are really excelling, and everybody's not built like that. So, I mean, maybe I see myself in him. I don't know, but, I
think that's a great point that you make, though. It's a really good point.
And now you Huffs and Puffs got your arms folded, scratching your neck. You need to be respectful.
I mean, to what you've said, I've heard Law say this as well. Like when he, building his brand and building his business, he was not treated the best way. He was not treated with respect. And I understand that happened, and that is unfortunate. But I guess to boil it down for me is, you don't have to treat people the way that you have been treated. That's just whenever I think about him, that's what I think. Like, you don't have to treat people the way that you have been treated. Heal from that trauma, but don't bring that shit over here. That's all. That's just my thing with Law. But anyway.
With that being said, can we get into these
looks?
Yes. For this episode.
Right. You ready?
I'm ready.
And since he sees Law in himself, let's see what he has.
Let's see what
about these looks.
All right. So first up, we have Antonio's look.
Maybe.
Hold on. Let's try another one. All right, hold on. Let me see something real quick. Let's start with BJ's look.
Oh no, we're having some technical difficulties. You've never had this happen before. Oh, there we go.
Okay, this one will play. All right, this is Jesus.
Yeah.
Now he looked like the artist formerly known as Prince of the Caribbean.
I think the problem was also the hair and makeup choice, as well as the shirt.
It was not good.
It wasn't.
It was not good.
Can we cuss on this?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
So if the designer wasn't so busy trying to fuck him, maybe he could have focused on the outfit.
That part.
There you go.
Great point.
I was like, what am I watching? What is...
Yeah.
And the man said, at least what was edited, no less than 3 times on the show, I don't want to wear something feminine.
Yeah.
He was not listening and leading with his Johnson. this is what we end up with.
Oh
The
my God, I
coat
have
is
not
okay.
called that in a long time.
Not the Johnson.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. It's one, and here's the thing: he missed the brief because the brief was to listen to your client. Your client has to buy into this and want to buy the clothing that you're creating for them. And on numerous occasions, they had two fittings. Both times when the model came in, he said, "It's not what I thought it was going to be. It's too feminine, and I don't really like it." And he said he gave him some suggestions on how he could tailor it to him that he would feel more comfortable in it. And when you don't listen to what people are telling you, and you're only doing what you want to do, you're not benefiting your client, and you're not actually growing as a designer.
That's why Miss Jones went home.
Yeah,
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
there
are
was another
correct.
contestant, Miss Jones,
That went home last
she
week.
went home last week, and both Christian Siriano was trying to tell her this might not be what you want to do, and then other contestants were also trying to help her restructure her design, and she was very much in the headspace of I'm doing what I want to do regardless of what you guys say, and she went home. So to your point too, like if he wasn't so caught up in being enamored with his model, maybe he could have taken a step back and realized that this wasn't it. This really was not it.
Yeah, it was. I didn't like it at all. There was nothing. There was really no redeeming quality about it. The
Did you
coat
like the
was
coat?
bad. No.
No, even Christian said my mother has a coat just like
She
this.
made that comment. I mean, he made that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the workroom.
It was bad.
And here's the thing. Let's go back to this. I think because Christian Siriano is actually a really good point of reference here, and I've talked about this on almost every episode. When he comes in the workroom and he says something to you, I think you need to take heed and listen, because he's been spot on every episode with his comments to these contestants.
Mm.
And when they choose not to listen to him, they tend to go home. And this is why I believe, not listening to him is going to send Jesus home this week, which we'll get into a little bit later.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Joan did the same thing. Was it Yuchin?
Yuchin didn't listen to anybody.
Yeah, but specifically
True.
when Christian said something, he didn't listen, and that sent him
when
home.
he made that dress with them horns.
And here's the thing. All right, you can either love his designs or not like him, or think that maybe he's too passive aggressive. But here's the thing, that there's something very unique about Christian. He's a former contestant. He's been through this. He understands what it means to be on Project Runway and the pressure cooker that it is. He's giving you inside tips of things that he's gone through and what the judges are looking for. And then on top of it, he knows all the people that are on the panel right now because he's worked with them. He's probably dressed them. These are his peers now. He's on the total opposite side. Listen to him. He knows what the fuck he is talking about. All right? You are here as a contestant to learn. And by you not taking that moment to say, hey, you know what? He's been through this.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the business. He is at the top of the game right now. He's telling everybody, let me take what he's saying and incorporate it into what my design aesthetic is, and to make my designs better.
Well, someone's very passionate about that.
Sorry.
Very. So like we were talking about this yesterday after we watched the episode.
Conversation I had to cut off because it was going, and I'm like, sir, we have
Yeah.
to record.
Which is kind of crazy because typically I'm that person. I'm like, hold on, whoa. Well, at least with prior podcasts that I was doing. But anyway, I think like Law, I think it's the way Christian says things. So what I was saying yesterday in conversation with him was that like he's somewhat indirect with his mentorship or his critique, or he is often kind of passive aggressive, like, are you sure you want to do this, or are you sure, is that the right? So I think maybe that's why some of these contestants don't really heed his advice as much as they should, because he doesn't give it very directly and very like clearly, it's like, well,
But
maybe
see,
I don't know.
Christian is also there to give guidance and not direction. There is a
Yeah.
difference. So when he is saying, "Are you sure you want to do that?" He wants the contestant to take a step back and question whether or not they are sure that that's what they want to do. And if Christian is saying that, he's also saying at the same time, he's not saying it directly. Yes, he could probably be more direct, but he's saying at the same time, this isn't working well, so revisit it. But if this is the choice you're going to make, be sure you're going to make it.
Yeah.
That's given a lot of work for 5 words, right? Like if and this goes back to the Law Roach thing. Like Law is going to say, what he means and keep it moving. I think that unless you are super attuned with yourself and have high executive function, an average person might not get all that from, are you sure you want to do this? Because I would be like, yeah, I'm sure. Thank you.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but in this space, you should know, Christian, these people have been in this competition for weeks now. So in this space, they should know what Christian means when he says, are you sure you want to do that? Because even Joan admitted to the fact that she wished he was in the fabric store with her that one day.
You're making the choice for the fabric.
Yes.
Well, here's the other thing, too. I think that he does not want to come off saying, you should do this, because him as a almost like a consultant to the show and a mentor, you don't want them to be up in front of the judges and say, well, Christian told me to do this. Ultimately, when it boils down to it, it's your decision because you are the contestant. But I think you don't want to have. He doesn't want to have that backlash of people constantly saying, "Well, Christian told me to do this. Christian told me to do this." No, Christian's here to advise you, to help you. So him kind of vaguely saying, "Well, do you want to do this?" It plants the seed of, all right, let me think about this before I make a final decision.
I guess. I just do not respond well to passive aggression, period. Like in general, say what the fuck it is you're trying to say to me, because I don't have time to do mental gymnastics for what you are trying to say in this roundabout way, because it's not gonna land well with me.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that being said, let's move on to the next one.
So, okay, quick
try
question.
Yeah.
If I stay here, are you able to take me out?
Yes,
from the
I
final?
am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
So I'm gonna try to play it from here.
Okay, that's fine.
Because the preview plays, and I don't know why the live doesn't.
Okay.
All right, we just did Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try Antonio. There we go.
Love it. Love it. The reveal, everything.
Yeah. The double
So
reveal.
we
got 2.
Yeah, so we have to play the different one as well. So the only thing I did not like about this was the model. And granted, I know she is not a professional model. She's not a model at all. I wish she would have kept the first coat on a little longer so that we could appreciate it.
Me too.
Yeah.
She turned the corner and basically took it off immediately.
Yeah.
But I love the color. I love the way the dress was cut for. She wanted to show off her cleavage. She got to do that. She looked beautiful. You can tell she felt beautiful. Who was this, Antonio?
Yes.
The one I'm starting to have an affinity for. Yeah, this was good. This was good.
Yeah, ultimately, no, go ahead. Go right ahead.
So the way they were building up this episode in the beginning, like, guys, we're gonna bring in models with special needs. I'm literally thinking they're gonna be cerebral palsy. And then I was like, well, I don't see nothing wrong with them. I was like, it's autism. They autistic. And then they gonna come out a bag on us and say, we got eczema. Girl, we all got eczema. Get out of here. So I just wanted to pause and make sure that, like, the eczema among all of them was a nice talking point, but it really, they might as well have just said these are just regular people.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You
Like
wanted
eczema was doing a lot of work in the episode for, like, and then the one person was like, oh yeah, see, I get it on my wrist. Girl. Girl.
I love it. Yeah, you have a point there.
You do have a point.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
it. I
for
really
me,
like the outfit.
yeah, like
Yeah.
this, I think to walk away from this experience, she was in love with it. She made it very apparent to the judges that Antonio listened to her and really executed on what she wanted, because he said to her, "It's like, listen, I haven't dated in a while, and I want to get back in the dating scene, and I want to feel sexy. I want to be seen." And like, let me tell you something. She had a moment
She did.
on this show. If she does nothing else with her life, she can replay this forever. She had a moment, and she looked beautiful doing it, and he made her feel beautiful.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, to jump ahead, he won this episode. This was the winning look,
Finally.
and it was well
It was
deserved. He was. I think that through this whole entire episode, he was humble about it. He had put his head down and he worked really hard and listened to her. I think out of all the episodes, this is the one time where he just like, I'm gonna listen to what someone is saying to me and not run my fucking mouth. Because that was, I think, his biggest problem. He just wanted to talk. And I think what really did it for him was the fact that his brother beat him out last week, and he was just like, you know what? I'm better than this, and I really want to win. And I love that for him. Now, we're not big fans of theirs,
Excuse me.
but you got to give credit where credit is due. He did the damn thing this week, and he deserved to win. So,
He did.
well deserved.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I think he was. I think maybe the only one that truly did listen to the client.
In every aspect.
In
Yeah.
every aspect, and fulfill the brief, which was a reveal.
Yeah, he did multiple reveals.
Yes, he had like 3. So, but yes, to your point, I wanted to see that coat more, because the coat for me, or the overcoat, I should say, was like the best thing about it. I loved it, especially those two big buttons right there. I really, and the volume of it. I really loved
And
it.
honestly, and maybe I'm just in the headspace because we just saw him yesterday. The coat was kind of reminiscent of what Joseph McCrae would have done.
True.
Yes.
The volume of it.
This
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, ready to move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we have Bologania.
Mm.
Yes. Child.
Mm.
You know what? We're gonna let you take this one first.
I just, I mean,
and then
the
The reveal of it all.
she by Hefty.
I love it. I love it.
And then the hot pants. It just
Yeah.
like, you know how you watch a show and you automatically are rooting for the black people.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
was like, Bolognia, you got to go. You got to go today. Like, and then like from the beginning, where she just, her mindset was so off, where it was, well, this is not what I do. And I'm like, but you want a competition show. You got to figure it out. And I'm not a designer, right? But as soon as the woman, the model said she doesn't like prints, I was just like, bet. Then what's going to win is the texture. What's going to win is the layers. Like, it doesn't have to be the print that is the reveal. I don't know. I was very, very disappointed.
I think the thing with Bolognia, this episode specifically, it almost felt like she gave up.
Yes.
Like, it felt like maybe she hit a wall this episode, because from the very beginning, like you said, she was like, this is not what I do. She was already talking down about, this is going, I know I'm going to be in the bottom for this look. I know I'm going to be in the bottom for this look. Even like down to the point where she was picking the fabric, like she knew that's not what her model wanted. There, like you said, she has done amazing work this whole season.
Yeah.
And not everything that she's done has had like specific prints or anything. So I don't know what the hang up was with basically giving this girl what she wanted in a way that we know Bolognia can give it.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand what happened to her this episode. It really did feel like she just wasn't present for this challenge.
I do think, like, as soon as the client said that she didn't like Prince, I think that was the moment Bolognia was like, I think that was a turning point for her in a very wrong direction. She was just like, I think probably her thought process was, I'm gonna make her like Prince. I'm gonna find a
Yep.
print that she likes, and she's gonna. And the coat was not bad. The coat looked good, but unfortunately, the coat was the best part. The reveal, the dress underneath was not.
But it wasn't even a dress.
I don't know what it was.
It was a top dress. It was a tress. It was not good. But whatever from it being in the workroom, I feel like she changed it from how it presented on the runway, because when she showed it in the workroom, I remember being like, "Oh, this I kind of like this." In some
It
kind
was
of
like
way.
right down the middle. It wasn't like off to the side.
It was something.
Yeah, it was
and
a
I was
difference.
like, and yeah, it just unfortunately it was a no go. So she and who else is in the bottom? Jesus. They're both they're both.
Now
that was well earned.
And here's the thing: I love Bolognia. I honestly would love to hear her point on why she did what she did.
What happened?
Yeah, like what? And then here's the thing: not everybody's gonna do. You're not gonna have a perfect week every week. She has been in the bottom before, but she's also won two challenges.
Yeah.
So we know she's a strong designer. I think maybe these one day challenges is stressful. That pressure cooker. Maybe the pressure's got to her, but I want to give her a little bit of grace.
I'm giving her grace, but like I said, this episode did not feel like the Bolognia we knew. Even like when they were, even when they were talking, her and the model, when they were conversing, I felt like the model was trying to engage a little differently. Like she was trying to get a little bit more personable. Where Bolognia was like, "Well, what colors do you like? What print?" Like she went straight into like she wasn't having conversation with her. She was just like, "Well, what colors do you like? What patterns do you like?"
She could be burned out.
I think this episode felt like burnout.
Yeah. And understandably so. Again, they've had one day challenge after one day challenge. The whole season has been one day challenges right after the other.
And we're seeing it as a weekly episodic show, but we know that this is like being shot back to back to back to back to back. So like they might have like 1 day or 2 days off, but they're just going, and it's a mental drain. This is really an endurance test to see how well that you can maintain in a high pressure situation. So there's a lot to yes, it's fashion, but it's all right. Well, can you survive high pressure?
And this is high pressure. Yeah, for real. Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts before we move on? All right. Next
up we have BJ.
This. I was in awe.
In a good way?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
I absolutely. Was there a reveal? No, there wasn't. But for me, just the construction of the outfit, the confidence that the model had, it was like watching The Matrix. Like that vibe, that look, and the fact that this is I don't know where I even got it from, but like a West African dude. The greens and blacks were giving, Afrofuturistic Ogun. It really hit. Like, I might have made them the winner. Except for the fact that there was no reveal. Very well constructed. Loved the design.
Well, she was in the top. BJ was in the top for this. I don't understand exactly how. I didn't care for this look, unfortunately. The client looked like he could barely walk. He looked very stiff, and unfortunately, the brief was not fulfilled. There was no reveal. It was simply a removal of a jacket.
And he didn't take it off. He just unzipped it.
Yeah, and I did not like the sweater underneath. I agree that it gave very much Christmas sweater.
It gave me like Bill Cosby sweater.
Well, I wouldn't say it was that bad, but it was just I didn't care for this. And typically I like what VJ gives us. Typically, not always. But yeah, I was not a fan of this.
I felt like they gave VJ a pass this episode.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't understand how she was in the top. There could have just been who won Antonio.
Yeah.
They could have just announced Antonio as the winner and not had VJ in the top.
Just make him safe.
Yeah. I don't feel like she deserved the credit that she got. As TJ said, she did not fulfill the brief. Yes, the jacket was well constructed. To your point about the model being stiff, we have to remember that they're not models. But I just didn't get it. Granted, I think because he loved it, VJ did what he asked for as far as being covered up. He wanted to be covered up. So I think because the model was satisfied and because it was catered to a client, it was a client competition. Because the client was really happy, that would have been why she got the pass. But outside of that, this was not a top look in any way.
Yeah. Here's my thing. Like, you're given an assignment. It doesn't matter in what field you're in. And, you're told that you have to hit these 4 points. And you show up and you only do one. That is a uncompleted assignment and an automatic fail.
As you said earlier, your English teacher failed you because you did not complete the assignment.
Yeah. And so, for that reason, I don't think that he should have been disqualified for that particular. Oh God, why I do this every episode? VJ, I apologize sincerely. It is not my intention to misrepresent and misgender you. But yeah, she did not complete the assignment. It's like she showed up and said, the dog ate my homework. I couldn't finish it. But here's what I did. And it looks stunning. But that still does not, you didn't do the work.
It's not good.
And you didn't show the work. Let's just say that.
So let's be clear. I got that F because my English teacher was a hating ass bitch. Who had his own father-son issues with black skin. But to the point, we brought up Grace earlier. I am of the belief that, each note might not have been hit, but what was hit far outshined what was lacking. So that's why for me it was a top 2 look.
Okay.
I think for me, I don't like VJ. She's messy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where you land every week.
So Grace and Mercy do not follow me as it pertains.
Yeah.
To
You
VJ.
ain't got it for VJ.
I don't see it for her. Yeah.
So
let's move on.
Because you haven't watched the entire series, she is a mean girl.
Oh, so is that why that white dude was coming for her in this episode?
Yeah.
Which one?
The one that he designed the Rorschach hot pants look.
Ethan.
Oh, Ethan.
Okay.
Probably.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Possibly.
But even beyond that, Ethan's point about not having a reveal, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, but he was acting like he was getting paid to give the opinion.
No,
but she gives her opinion any other time.
Very true.
Listen to me.
Yes.
When I say she's a mean girl, trust me, she is.
And she stirs the pot.
Yes.
She stirs the pot. Even
purposefully so.
Yeah. Even when the pot ain't even there, she goes to the kitchen, gets the pot.
And she says it. She says it every episode. I'm just being a little messy. And then she laughs about it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you can't have grace for her because it's like, girl, this is who you is.
Yeah.
All right.
Last but not least, we have
Speaking
Ethan.
of Ethan, this is a mess. I'm sorry. This was a mess. I understand the client was happy.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Heidi about the taste level. The skirt was a little too short. I did not like this.
I like this look.
Sorry, go ahead, Rashid.
It's giving BET Awards, and I think that there's a time and place for the BET Awards. And I say that to say I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't giving the caliber of couture, if you will, as some of the other things that were out there. So it's giving like inner city prom dress.
Ooh.
Not
Yeah,
prom
not-
dress.
not
Not just
ugly.
prom dress.
Inner city prom dress.
Yeah. It's not, it wasn't
Um,
ugly. It just wasn't.
Very good.
It wasn't. It didn't match. It matched the client's expectations. It did not match mine.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Fair.
All right.
I didn't hate it. I do agree with I can't remember who said it, but I would have liked to see the print on the outside as well, or even something else.
I think they all said it.
Yeah, like something else on the outside, because just all of that stark white was just a lot. Because the coat itself was very long, so it was a lot of fabric.
What the how do you say it was again?
I think like a lab
Somebody
Somebody said
yeah.
like a lab coat or
Yeah.
something. So when you do the reveal and you have the Rorschach, that's very pretty. So it would have been nice to have that or something nice to look at on the outside as well. The client loved it. She liked it very much, and I think that's something to say.
Yeah.
It wasn't, to me, it wasn't like a bad look, but it for sure could have been better.
So with that being said, Ethan was in the bottom along with was it VJ?
No,
VJ
Jesus and Jesus
Right, Jesus and Bolognia.
and
So they were in the bottom. But then when they went back and did the judging, they said because the fact that the client loved her look and felt pretty in it, they said that he was safe. So in the bottom was Jesus and Bolognia. And
We
the
have
shocker of it all this season, typically this season, they've each show ended on a cliffhanger where they didn't say who went home. The first, they would bring back when the next episode starts. They announce who went home. At the very end, they said both you guys are out, and they said to be continued. We're all like gobsmacked.
The
It's
gasp.
What?
Listen, I had to sit up. I was like,
We all said, we were like,
what?
Yeah, we did not expect that at all. So production did that very well.
Yes.
They did that very well. But I do have a prediction on what's going to happen next week.
My thing was, I was going to say this yesterday, but again, we were having too much conversation. I wanted to save it for today. My thing was, if they were to do a double elimination, that double elimination would have been deserved. What was that, last week? For Yuchin and VJ?
Yeah.
Because both looks were just that bad.
Yeah.
They were absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
So I think the shocker of doing it this week, it came out of nowhere. It came out of left field, especially because I feel like the most offensive, unfortunately, I love you, Bolognia, don't hate me. I felt like Bolognia should have gone home because it was the most offensive out of the two looks.
So, okay, here's my prediction of what might happen next week, right? I think they're going to give both of them a second chance. And but I think it's going to be like, because it was several seasons ago. I think they did this a couple of times.
They've done it a couple times. I'm not sure about
They're like, okay, go back to the workroom.
Yes.
And give us something new. Either like deconstruct this look and give us something new. And it's going to be like what is the word?
A face-off?
Yes, kind of like a face-off. And whoever does the best with this new look, deconstructed from these poor looks, will be the one to stay. I have a feeling they're going to do something like that.
They have. I feel like, I don't know if they've done it every season, but they have done it multiple seasons where they do have two of the contestants face off.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that I can see that happening, especially because there was not a Christian Siriano save this season. They have to do something to at least try to harken back to the previous seasons. Yeah.
Now, if that is the case, and if Bolognia truly is like burned out, this may not bode well for her, because if she's really burned out and then you're finna say, okay, you got to go back to the workroom and do this, she might just be like, I ain't got it in me. The tank is on E. The battery is dead. So I don't know. This could be if that is to happen, this could be a make or break moment for Bolognia. And I am still rooting for her, of course.
Yes, we're rooting for you.
We are rooting for you, girl. So we'll see. But that's my prediction for next week.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, it's funny. I think like this episode overall was pretty tame until the very end. Like
It was a
They-
shocker.
there was just no build up to this at all. It felt like it kept following the same format that it had been for the previous 7 episodes, and then to have that at the end, like they start playing
The
credits at
credits?
the bottom.
Yes.
We're like, okay, yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
We'll see. And honestly, we would have probably just turned it off, and then they was like, "You're both going home." It's like,
Yeah.
They didn't even have a preview for the next episode.
no.
Usually we get the preview for the next episode. There was nothing. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
happening?
That's why I think
episode?
that's why I think this next episode is gonna be special. I think it's gonna be that.
Production was productioning this
Yeah, they were
episode.
producing
Let's
They
just
did
say
their
that.
big one. Paramount needs to borrow them for Big Brother.
Oh man! All right. So, any final thoughts before we wrap this bad boy up and call it a day?
Just thank you for joining us, Rashid.
Yes.
We greatly enjoyed your company. I think this is the most
Indeed.
we've laughed in an episode
Yes.
in a while. So we
Yeah.
appreciate the change of pace.
Well, I
And
was
the
happy to be here, and thank you for introducing me to a show that I am gonna watch a little bit more of, and keep my nose in Reddit and see how it all turns out.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
No.
To it? All right. Well, listen. I just want to extend a special thank you to all the people that have been watching over these last several weeks, especially this particular episode of the recap show with doing Project Runway. The viewerships are up. Now we want to translate those viewerships into subscribers. If you're coming here and watching this, there's a reason why you're watching it. So go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then also hit the notification button so you can get notified every time we drop new videos. New videos drop every Monday at 8 a.m. And then in addition, we have a very special episode that's going to drop this Wednesday. And I'm just going to give you a little hint. It has to do with Joseph McCrae. So watch that episode this Wednesday at 8 a.m. also. So until we see you guys again next week, have a...
Before we go,
Okay, what you got?
sorry,
What you got?
we want to make sure that we can that people know where to find you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sure. If you are listening to me for the first time, you can find more of me at RashidDarden.com. That's RashidDarden. No relation to Christopher Darden, the attorney. You can follow me on Instagram, Threads, and other social media at Rashidopedia. And
And we will have all his information down below in the description, so you can click on the link and get directly linked to Rashid. Rashid, thank you again so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on in the future.
Thank you.
Hopefully sooner than later.
Yes, indeed.
So with
I'm
that
free.
being said, everyone, have a great week, and we'll see you here next week. Deuces.
Bye.
When I go, I drop. When I trip, I pop. When I go, I drop, pop. When I go,